All righty, welcome back, everyone. This is the Fuck Calories podcast. I'm Dr. Soleil. That's Dr. Sarah, and today we're talking about strength training. So, Dr. Sarah, what are your favorite exercises to strength train? I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know where to begin. I don't want to
Yeah.
end up looking like a bodybuilder. Help.
Yes. Totally agree with that. And just as a little caveat, sorry, my screen looks weird. It's like really, the lighting is really bizarre in my house and I can't fix it at the moment.
It
So
makes you
anyway,
look ethereal. There you go.
I don't know about that, but anyway, it's well played. But yeah, totally. So before I got into strength training, I was super nervous, and it was, like I feel like kind of like how we talked about last time, and maybe people don't have this experience, and if they don't, I think that's amazing. But I definitely felt like cardio was more approachable versus strength training can be a little bit more challenging and a little bit higher barrier to entry. It's one of those things that you kind of, or at least I don't know, I feel dumb doing when I'm by myself and I don't know what to do. But there's so many benefits to strength training.
Mhm.
I heard this analogy that said that like if you're losing weight and like if you're getting fat off your body and you're not strength training, you're gonna look like a melted candle. And I think
Mhm.
that's so true.
Yes.
Um, so I think it's super important that we strength train on this journey, because we know that with GLP-1s, if we're not actively taking care of our muscle mass, we will lose muscle mass.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think it's super important. And so what do we do? What the heck? Well, how do we get started?
Right.
So there's a bunch of different things that you can do. And we can also talk about the metabolic benefits as well. But there's strength training can be as simple as just your body weights. So like, doing stuff at home, doing lunges, push-ups, etc., things like that. You can even be doing air squats. You can do, even if like I personally can't do a push-up or can't do a real push-up.
Right.
Um, and even though I've been, strength training, weight training for many years, and so there's many different options. There's many different ways that you can modify different activities, things like doing push-ups against the wall. So instead of, laying down flat and doing a push-up up and down, or I don't know, I can't make my hand do it, but like literally standing up against the wall and pushing up against the wall.
Yes.
And you can increase your lean the stronger that you get,
Mhm.
which can help. And so there are many different ways that you can do strength training and take care of your muscles from the comfort of your own home, the safety and the privacy of your own home. So you don't have to feel like you're, working out with all the gym bros and the bodybuilders and stuff, and,
Mhm. Yeah.
and don't know what to do. But yeah, I think it's a really important thing. And I don't think that anyone is going to accidentally start looking like a
Right.
bodybuilder.
Right. So that
It's
is
actually
definitely a myth, right? And that a lot of
absolutely,
women, I think, are very scared because they
yeah.
see
They don't
these
want to bulk up.
massive jacked people. And I was like, it
Yeah,
takes a lot of
yeah,
effort to look like
yeah.
that, which is why they look like that, right? They want
Right.
they're creating this aesthetic that they feel.
Right.
I will never
Yes.
accidentally look like
Yes.
that,
It
no
is
matter
really
how much I
challenging to
lift.
put exactly. It is really challenging to put on muscle. So it's one of the reasons why we want to pay attention to it. But you
Mhm.
are not at risk of getting overly bulky.
Right.
If
Right.
anything, it will help you lean out, which is really awesome. Because like I think like there at one point there was this like mantra of like do higher, let's see, no, do lower weights, higher reps to lean out, to
Oh,
build lean muscle instead of like bulky muscle. And that's not a thing.
yep.
You're just building muscle.
Yeah.
But if the subcutaneous adipose tissue around it, in other words, like the fat tissue around it, melts away, then you're gonna look more lean and you're gonna look like you have long, lean tone muscles. And it's really important, both
Absolutely.
for longevity, for your grip strength, for your all-cause mortality, as well as for the metabolic effects. So maybe I know we kind of are bouncing all over the place, but maybe let's talk about the metabolic effects real quick.
Absolutely. So that's, I think, one of the biggest draws that I have to strength training is with my PCOS, I am more insulin resistant. And if I increase my muscle mass on my body, I'm able to actually counteract and reverse that insulin resistance because of the muscles being able to kind of metabolize
Yeah.
the sugars and the glucose and the I'm lowering my A1C, which is a 3 month average of your blood sugar. So continue to improve metabolically the more muscle mass I put on. What
Yeah.
is your favorite kind of benefit?
Yeah. So there's like something that we talk about in physics, and I'm not going to try to nerd out too much, but there's something called like a sink. And what
Mm,
that means is that it's basically just like a kind of sort of like a vacuum, but basically it's an entity that absorbs any of whatever your item is that you're talking about. So like you can have a heat sink, which means like where you have some sort of something in your physics reaction or your chemical reaction that is absorbing kind of infinitely all of the heat that goes on in that process. And so I'm getting a little off topic here, but muscle acts as like a glucose sink. And so what
mhm,
that means is that the more muscle mass you have, the more carbs you can eat in a day without spiking your blood sugar, without leading to increased glucose circulating in your bloodstream, that then gets turned into things that we don't want it to.
mhm.
And so the more muscle mass that you contain, the more calories that you're going to burn during a day and the more glucose you can dispose of without causing any ill effects. And so that is one of the ways that it can combat insulin resistance. It's one of the ways that it can combat, any plateaus or anything that you may have while you're on this weight loss journey. And so it's super, super, super important. In
Yeah.
addition to, to everything that we've talked about. So
It increases your, and I don't know if everyone heard that, it increases your basic basal metabolic rate. So you are
yeah,
burning more calories sitting
yeah,
here doing
yes,
nothing than I
yeah,
was even a week ago if I have
yeah,
more muscle, right? So that is
absolutely.
massive, especially those of us that are maybe looking to change body composition, right? And I was like, listen, if I can burn an
Yeah,
extra 100 calories sitting here, why wouldn't
yeah,
I? Right?
yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
helping me reverse my insulin resistance, bring down my blood sugar, etc. The other benefit I really like is with my mood. So it's been
Yeah.
shown that strength training really helps people with anxiety, some mood disorders, but giving you that sense of accomplishment, endorphins, I feel good, and I'm not an anxious little lab rat like I'm running
Yeah.
around all the time, right? So it really
Yeah.
helps me that way as well.
Yeah. When you were talking about increasing your basal metabolic rate, I can't remember if I have told you this, but I'm really excited. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to go have my resting metabolic rate measured. Like where they put the mask on you and you like it measures
We
like
love science. Yes.
exactly, exactly. So I'm super excited about it. Because as the listeners know, I strongly, strongly feel that metabolism has a memory. That's one of my favorite sayings. And that when you have been on yo-yo dieting like I have, unfortunately, you can really wreck your metabolism, meaning, and by that I mean that when you go through a period of restriction,
Mhm.
your body learns how to survive on less calories,
Yeah.
and such that even when you maybe regain the weight, your body doesn't then utilize more calories. It just stays
Right.
where it's at and stores all those additional calories as fat. And unfortunately, I have yo-yo weight, yo-yo dieted my whole life.
Hmm.
Um, and so like when there's calorie calculators, like how much you burn at baseline or how much you burn doing certain activities, I know from experience that mine is way, way, way less.
Mm.
But so anyway, I'm about to go get it calculated in a couple of weeks, so we can talk about that after it happens.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm really excited to find out what it shows. And so for anyone who maybe feels that way, feels the same way, like, hey, I'm doing all these activities and I'm burning, XYZ. And, when we get down to try to make ourselves into a math equation with calories in, calories out, which, I hate and do not believe
Right.
in, it can be really frustrating. And so one of the ways that you can about that is to increase your muscle mass, increases your overall um, burn of the energy that you do take in. So that's really awesome.
Yes. Another great benefit I love that might be kind of in the same vein would be increasing bone strength and reversing
Yeah.
osteoporosis and osteopenia. So when you're talking about getting that metabolic testing, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I need to be signing up for my DEXA scan, right? So
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
kind of see
absolutely.
body comp, but also how is my bone doing?
Yeah,
As we put muscles on and as we increase our muscle mass, it puts appropriate stress on the bones, which tells the bones, hey, she's using that. We got to get stronger.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so that's why we really encourage strength training throughout your entire life, but we also really encourage the older population to really step up their strength training game
yeah,
because We don't want any broken bones. We don't want
Yeah,
any osteoporosis if we can avoid it. Strength
yeah,
training also helps with balance, right? And if you do happen to fall, you're not
yeah,
breaking anything, you're not, et cetera.
yeah.
But
And we
uh,
know that as people age, they are going to lose a certain amount of bone density. There's nothing that you can do. I mean, there's things you can do about it, but like at baseline, if you don't do anything about it, you're going to
right,
lose a certain percentage of your bone density every single year. And so this is a way to combat that.
absolutely. Especially if those of us that don't want to take some of the osteoporosis medications, right? Because of the side effects,
Yeah.
start strength
And some
training.
people do have to take them, but they do have a
Yes,
lot of side effects.
yes, yes,
This is a way you
absolutely.
can prevent yourself from needing them.
Yes. And if I can prevent myself from accidentally taking a spill, right, and a fall,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's helping my mood and it's helping me keep my hormones and my insulin and glucose under control.
Yeah.
What other things that
So maybe let's talk about like the actual strength training things that you can do. So we kind of talked
yeah,
about body weights, using your own body to get stronger, things that you can do in your house. Some other things that you can do from the comfort of your own home is resistance bands. So these are
mhm,
super cheap. You can get them on Amazon or Walmart or wherever you like to shop. And there's so many YouTube. I mean, obviously you can figure it out on your own, but if you want some like guidance or help,
mhm.
there's so many YouTube videos of like different exercises that you can do. Like putting it around your thighs and then doing what I call good girls, bad girls, doing your adductors and your abductors.
Oh,
Um,
I was like, what is that exercise? And now,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. I had a trainer that called them good girls, bad girls.
and it kind of just stuck. Yeah.
And so for people who are not in the medical field and don't know what adductors and adductors mean, so say that these are my legs and like this is my crotch. So basically you're like bringing them in and then you're bringing them out. And so it's like good girls and bad girls because you're closing and opening your legs.
Yeah. But
Um,
the resistance band really takes it to the next level,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. So there's so many different resistance bands. You can get some of the long ones. You can put it under your feet while you're standing and then put it over your shoulders to do like a squat with it to increase your resistance of when you're squatting. So many different options.
Mhm,
And it's so easy to do that you can do from the safety of your own home. You don't have to have like a bunch of bodybuilders watching you or gym bros or whatever.
mhm.
You can do it from the comfort of your own home. Is super cheap and super easy to do. Let's say you've done that and you want to kick it up a notch. Um, then the next thing you can go to is you can lift different weights and different things that are around your house that have weight, anything
Yeah,
from
like
like
free weights, if you will.
exactly.
Yeah,
Or even before, if you don't want to invest in a pair of free weights yet, even just like lifting things that are around your house.
exactly.
Like maybe you have a bedside table that is, 15 pounds or something, and you want to like pick it up and lift it up and different things like that. Please be safe. Please
Mhm,
use your
mhm.
legs and not your back. But even something simple as like a can of like those big cans of green beans. Like at least I know when I do my delts, which is like this movement, I will tire myself out with like 8 pounds, which is like
Mhm.
very easy to find something that's 8 pounds
Yes,
in your house.
a
But then,
gallon of
yeah,
liquid usually is roughly around 8 pounds.
yeah, absolutely. Then if you do want to invest in a set of free weights, you absolutely can. Or you can also join a gym that maybe has free weights there.
Mhm.
And there's so many different apps that you can download if you don't feel comfortable or don't want to um, you know, try to figure out how to do how to do the
Yeah.
different exercises while people are staring at you. There's
Mhm.
so many different apps that can explain, kind of give you a workout regimen, explain how to do the exercise, and then you log what you're doing. So you don't have to feel like, okay, well, so I did like one set, now I don't know where to go or what to do
Right.
next. So a couple of them that I have heard from people that use them. I don't personally use them, but I've heard from people that really, really like them. One's called Strong Lifts, which is really awesome, and the other one's called FitBod. So those are really, really great apps that can kind of teach you what to do and how to um, move your body. Of course, if you ever want to take it up a notch, you can also get a personal trainer. Um, those can sometimes be pretty pricey. And so that's an option. Additionally, if you belong to any of the gyms that participate in the Les Mills classes, there's a number of strength training classes that are like, for example, body pump, etc. I think body pump classes are really fun. And they're basically a way that you do strength training as a class. And the music is really upbeat and like it's a lot of like EDM type music. I know it's not your favorite, but it's fun to work out to.
It is, it is. What I like about those classes are lifting weights with kind of higher intensity or higher reps, if you will, like to the beat and like doing it faster, is you're actually getting a twofer, right? You're getting your cardiovascular workout
Yeah,
while also strength training. So
absolutely.
that's nice. And it's a
Absolutely.
community. And so you can meet new people, you can have fun. The
Yeah.
instructor tends to be a little crazy. It's
Yes.
all, I love it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that the 24-hour fitness gyms all participate in the Les Mills classes. The YMCAs near where I am all participate as well. So basically, Les Mills is like a company, I don't really know exactly, but basically they're a company that puts out these like strength training workouts to music, and they have like their own line of music that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Or I
yeah.
think it's cool. Maybe other people think it's dumb. But and so then you can be there are people that are like trained or like become an instructor with Les Mills, and so then they teach at certain gyms. So
Sure.
basically I have so like if you have a membership to the YMCA here where I live or to 24-hour fitness, once you have that membership you can just go to the class for free, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And so there are lots of different gyms that participate in this. So I think you can go to like Les Mills, or you can even just Google body pump, and you can find out if any gyms near you have these classes. And I think they're really fun. And every single one that I have been to has been really welcoming to beginners.
Yeah, that's really nice, especially for
Yeah,
those of us that might be scared or intimidated, right? If
yeah,
we don't know
yeah,
what we're doing or where we're going.
yeah,
The other intimidating thing I know when I started going to the gym were the weight machines, because
yeah,
I'm like, that looks like a torture device. I
yeah. I don't
don't
know how to get
really,
into it.
yeah, I'm like, how does this work? And then I
Yeah,
just like sit back and I actually watch someone else do it. Maybe
yeah,
I'll like bring up some apps, but a lot of times I have found that the people that are working out in the gym all see you and they're like, oh, we've been where you're at. Like 6 months ago I was a beginner too, let me show you how to do this, and they help you out and they're very nice.
yeah,
But just know that everyone's been in your place. If you're a beginner, I'm
yeah,
still in that place. I still feel intimidated.
yeah,
I still look up exercises to do and how to do them
yeah,
properly on YouTube before I go to the gym. So
yeah,
yeah, we've
yeah,
all been there and we can
yeah.
all commiserate together.
Yeah, I mean, and I have been weightlifting for at least 4 years, and I had a personal trainer that I was weightlifting with for several years, and I go to a bodybuilding gym, and I still won't go by myself. So I have a friend who goes with me, and I will go when I'm with her. And even though I'm like seasoned, I guess a little bit, or I'm not seasoned, but I'm more experienced than I was,
Mhm.
I still have feelings of insecurity and whatever. So it's totally normal. It's okay. Prioritize your body, take care of your body more than you taking care of your peer pressure emotions.
Right, exactly. And we're all starting somewhere. And if the gym doesn't feel like a place that's feasible
Safe.
or even accessible right now,
Yep,
um, I love doing the body weights at home. I love the
absolutely.
resistance bands, right?
Yep.
Doing that at home. And then you can always make things harder.
Mhm.
The another interesting area I think with strength training is it will improve your kind of range of motion, but also with that, people will sometimes take strength training and body weight kind of training to the like calisthenics, which is more of like functional mobility as opposed to those that are in the bodybuilding world of like, I want to build my muscles large for aesthetic
Yeah,
reasons. And
yeah,
so that's an interesting difference too, because you might say, oh, I do want to grow large for aesthetic reasons. And some people say, no, I literally want to be able to pick up my entire body with one hand and do a one-handed push. And I'm like, you do you, man. Like, you'll get
yeah.
there. So everyone has different kind of priorities. No
Yeah,
matter what your end goal is, we're just encouraging you to find something you feel really good doing and increasing your strength, right?
yeah,
Get moving, build some of that muscle. It does a world of wonders. And any way you get there is the right way.
yeah, agree. So, well,
So,
this has been awesome. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about calisthenics next time, and it's so great to see you.
so we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.